Hey, what's up guys? It's time to talk about The Flash. So this episode is the first of two episodes where The Flash and Arrow team up for two awesome episodes. And you guys know, I don't know if I actually was doing videos at the time. I don't think I was. I might have commented on Facebook. Either way, back when they teamed up before, I thought it made for really great shows. So I was really excited for this. And for the most part, this episode delivered. I was really happy with it. Normally, The Flash has much better writing than the Arrow, I think. And I just think there's a little bit more chemistry for all of the different characters in The Flash than the Arrow. But for the most part, it worked really well when they were together. Like, all of the different characters were literally all together, except for, like, Laurel tonight. So it made for a really nice episode, a lot of good stuff. I was smiling throughout most of the episode, but there were a couple problems. We'll get to those in a minute. The first thing I really liked in the very beginning of the episode, we had Damien Dark have a couple scenes, and he's just a really enjoyable character. The way he's being played and the way he's being written works out really nicely, so I enjoyed that a lot. And then basically we have a story about Vandal Savage, who is okay. I've never really been a big fan of the whole Vandal Savage character, and I don't know for sure. I don't think it's accurate, but the way they're having his character have this connection to Hawkman and Hawkgirl, I don't believe that's an accurate thing. Now, I'm also not the hugest fan of Hawkman and Hawkgirl, but I don't think this whole Egyptian thing is maybe their main storyline. Maybe it is, and I'm just way off base. But the way it's being handled, having their connection with Vandal Savage, again, I don't know if it's the actual like main storyline in the comics or anything like that, but I don't really care for it. To me, it's really not that interesting, and it's just really kind of out there. And I know for a comic book show where you have giant mental powered gorillas, that seems kind of weird to say, but for me, Grodd works so much better than Hawkman and Hawkgirl. It just doesn't feel quite right. So that was a little odd. Hawkman's helmet mask looked really cool, but the whole wing thing, the way they just disappear, that's really, really not appealing to me. I think that's really lame. Really, really lame. I liked it better in Smallville. So much better. It reminded me of the G1 Optimus Prime, where his trailer just disappeared when he didn't need the trailer anymore, and the wings just disappear. So I didn't like that very much. And the CGI wasn't great at a lot of points in this episode. Normally it's pretty good, but it just felt a little off. But that being said, the only other issues were two little writing issues, but I'll get to those. Most of the episode was really fun. The banter between Barry and Oliver was really good. It was fun to see them interact, which I always think is the case. You put more than one hero on screen, it automatically makes it more fun, and the way they handled it was really good. It was enjoyable, both as a story standpoint and just for entertainment. Having them on screen, they did a good job with it, so that was cool. I really enjoyed the way they work together when they're fighting. Like Barry gets Oliver the arrows, and they do things at different points, and you have to watch it because I don't want to describe all of the action scenes, but the way they work in tandem is really fun and cool, so that's a good thing. And then we had a nice Arrow-style combat scene also in the beginning, so that was cool, and then Barry had his own solo stuff, so that was all really good. We had some more Harrison Wells, which was also good. He's doing a really good job playing this alternate version of Harrison Wells. So every time he's on screen, I kind of just enjoy it because the way he delivers the lines and the things he says, it's all enjoyable. Patty was on screen a little bit, and this is one of the problems. The way they wrote her into this part just didn't make sense at all. So she sees Harrison Wells outside of the labs. She follows him in, pulls a gun on him, and says, "Don't move any closer or I'll shoot." He does, and she shoots him. That's entirely illegal. You can't just do that because you're a cop. It made no sense for her character. It made no sense for the storyline. It was poorly written, really horribly done. I'm not even sure why they did it, because unless they're going to reference back to Jay Garrick using this speed formula stuff, it didn't really need to be there, because at the end of this episode, he's no longer on the speed stuff. Wells is better, and I guess maybe they're going to use this as a way to bring Patty into the fold, but I don't know if that's a good idea. It's just like, let's just keep getting everybody into knowing who Barry is. It's just kind of, I don't know if it's a good idea or not. But that was really bad writing. And then one other thing, which wasn't a big deal, but it was also something that was obviously bad writing, was when they're trying to protect Kendra, Hawkgirl, from Vandal Savage. So they're all in Oliver's lair, and they're talking about how they can save her. And then Malcolm shows up and explains who Vandal Savage is, and she's like, "Oh, I can't take this, I need some air," and she just walks out. She's gonna go for a stroll in the middle of the night, even though she's being hunted by a super killer guy. Nobody seems to mind that, so Cisco goes, and he's like, "Oh, I'll go talk to her," and that's it. Like, no one cares that she's going outside from her protection. And then she gets scooped up by Hawkman, which obviously they needed to introduce him somehow, but that just felt really forced and contrived and not very good. And so it was just bad. Like, they could have put a little bit more effort into it and not done something completely out of character and unrealistic. If you're being hunted by somebody, you don't go for strolls by yourself because you need air. It just doesn't make sense. So there's that. But by the end of the episode, you kind of forget about the bad spots because we have some nice fight scenes with Barry and Oliver against Vandal Savage. Some pretty decent special effects at that point. And Hawkgirl realizes who she is and she becomes Hawkgirl. Again, the wings disappear, so that's really irritating. But at the same time, it's kind of cool that Hawkgirl is in it because, I mean, they're cool characters. I just never really got into them. So, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Hawkgirl and Hawkman being in this. I know they're not going to be in, like, Flash and Arrow on a regular basis, at least. But I don't know if I like them being on screen. It's just so hard to pull off effectively. But, like I said, it's still kind of cool at the same time. So, I'm not against it. I just don't know how I feel. So we end up with them having to go get Vandal Savage. And so they're going to do that in tomorrow night's episode of Arrow. So it'll be interesting to see how that's written. And if it's written by the same people, I don't know. I'm curious to see how it feels, though, because I don't care technically who writes it. I just care how it turns out, what the final product is. And then one last thing I want to touch on, which I'm not really sure why they brought this back into it, but Oliver apparently still has a kid out there that he doesn't know about. And he runs into the kid almost literally at the end of this episode. Why they're bringing that back into it, I don't know. But the kid was carrying a Flash action figure, which looked like a pretty good figure. I don't know, maybe it was a DC Collectibles figure, and I'll have to pick one of those up. But it was cool, and we're going to have to see where that storyline goes, because I'm not sure what that really has to do with anything. But that'll be good, because we're probably going to get some more Damien Dark tomorrow. We're probably going to get some more Vandal Savage, which, like I said, I don't like the character, but it's okay. And then more Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and we'll see how all that stuff unfolds. I'm curious to see what you guys thought about this episode, what you're looking forward to in the next episode. And if you know anything about Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and Vandal Savage, because I'm really not that familiar with the characters, go ahead and leave it in the comment section so I can read up on them before tomorrow night's episode. There it is, guys. Make sure you do leave the comments so we can talk about stuff. And make sure you come back tomorrow night, because I'm going to do another video after that episode, and we'll talk about more stuff then. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night.